What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. So Rebecca done did a little interview or whatever. Who played Hayden? She did an interview, and she was just clearing some stuff up. About a possible return to GH as Hayden, and I guess one of the things she cleared up was the fact that there was rumors going around, I guess, on the internet that she turned down an offer from GH to come back, and she said that's not true. Apparently the show never reached out to her to return to the show. They never contacted her and made her an offer. It never happened. And that's funny to me because I'm like, they keep bringing up Hayden every now and then. It's like you get a lot of Hayden mentions, and yet they have not contacted her to come back to the show to finish out her story. Um, and I really wish that they would, because if you're going to bring up Hayden and what Victor's doing or what he did to her and her mother, it's like, why not bring her back to close out the story at the very least? Something. You know what I mean? So that way the character can get some closure, the fans can get some type of closure, something, you know. I would prefer it that way, but or if they can't get her, at least, recast the role or something. It's a lot of great actresses out there that can play Hayden, but I personally hope that it's Rebecca, but if they have to recast, I don't even think they would have to recast because I think Rebecca's open to coming back. So hopefully they can make that happen. So anyway, moving on from that and getting into this episode. First of all, I just want to put y'all on game real quick. Fellas, for all the dudes watching this show, watching this video, I just want to put y'all up on something real quick. You got to go to Bath and Body Works. You got to get you some of this. You got to get you some of this. This is blazing. This is like one of my favorite things. Stone Body Cream. This is amazing. Women, ladies, you got to get this for your husband, your boyfriend, your sons, whoever, nephews. Got to get it. It smells amazing. Like, I use this stuff every day. Like, every day I use it. Um, Bath and Body Works is like my go-to place for like body creams, colognes, body sprays. That's like one of my go-to spots. Like, their stuff is amazing. So anyway, Port Charles is celebrating Christmas, and I'm a big Christmas person. Halloween is actually my first love. I love Halloween, but Christmas, I love Christmas. It's like a close second for me. Um, I'm a big Hallmark kind of person. Honestly, I love the feel of Christmas. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, Christmas, it just puts me in a much better mood. You know what I mean? It's such a feel good season, and it's not even about the presents for me. Because I don't even care at this point about presents. It's just the feel of it. Um, it looked to me like Marshall was trying to flirt with Epiphany a little bit. Like, they had a little chemistry going on a little bit. I don't know his backstory, like Marshall's backstory, but I wouldn't mind Epiphany getting a little love interest ever since her and Milo broke up and stuff like that. So I wouldn't mind her getting a love interest. Not at all, But I'm still a little weary of Mr. Marshall. But I like those scenes, them doing that for the hospital patients and all that singing, and him playing the clarinet and all that stuff. I like that they do that, because the patients, it sucks that because a lot of them can't be home for Christmas, due to various reasons. And it's good that Epiphany and the hospital do stuff for them, to try to brighten their holiday season up. So I always like that. um I get where Portia coming from. Like, I get Portia is trying to get Curtis to bond with his dad and try to get to know him and stuff like that. I get it. I respect her for doing that, but she got to understand too that this man was out of Curtis's life for 40 years. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just erase all that. You just can't forget all of that. And plus, he's talking about, oh, it was dangerous back then. It's still a little dangerous now. So Curtis is not trying to hear nothing his father has to say until he finds out what he was up to. I can't blame him for that. You don't want to get too close because you might get burned. You got to protect yourself. You got to protect the people around you. So she needs to understand that and stop trying to push for him to forgive him. He's going to do it on his own time. You know, you got to let stuff like this, you got to let it happen organically. You got to let it happen. It has to just fall into place when it's time. You can't force nobody to do that. And that's what she got to understand. When Curtis checked this guy out and he find out about his past and what he's been up to, then and only then will he, start to warm up to him. But you can't force him to do that. You cannot. And I love the little old Christmas tree performance that they were doing. I loved it. I love when Epiphany sing. Her voice is just beautiful. I love it. Um. So anyway, moving on from that, Monica looked good as shit. She looked good. Leslie Charleston is gorgeous. Like, even at the age of what, 77, 78, she almost 80 years old. She looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? She's always put together. Always. I loved her. I loved her outfit today. She looked good. She need to button that blouse up a little bit more. I see what Monica was trying to do. Trying to have that blouse buttoned down a little bit. I'm like, no, put the twins away, put them up. Yuri is not at the party, so put them away. There's no need for you to have this all buttoned down. Like, no, who is you trying to show off for? Miss Monica, put that away. Come on now. But she looked good though. She really did. You know what I admire about Monica? That woman done been through some shit in her life. Monica done been through so much. She could write a book. She could write a book about like what happened to her back in the day, her kids, her marriages. Like, she could just write an autobiography. And if they really came out with some shit like that, I would read it. Um, I know she got a story to tell, and a lot of people done, watched it play out throughout the years. But her strength is so admiring. You know what I mean? Because Drew was pretty much trying to tell Monica, she don't have to pretend to be okay. She don't have to pretend like she's fine. You know, I don't really think she's pretending. I don't think she is. I mean, I think she's smiling and enjoying Christmas because at the end of the day, yes, it's a sad time because she just recently lost Jason again, plus the various other family members she lost, other children, her husband, in-laws. She lost all those people, but she's smiling and she's still happy during this time of year because she's grateful. You know what I mean? For the people that she still has around her. You know what I'm saying? For her grandkids, her great grandson. You know what I mean? Her other children, her other son. You know what I mean? Like, she's still very grateful for the ones she still got left. And at the end of the day, you have to be grateful for that. And I love that Monica, her son died, but she's not letting that stop her from walking around smiling and being in a festive mood. I love it. I really do admire that. And she even, made something that Alan loved. You know what I mean? Like, he always wanted her to make it every year, even though it's a non-alcoholic beverage. She still makes it. Even though he's no longer here and stuff like that, she still keeps that tradition alive. I love her. I just love Monica. I'm in awe of her. Um, can't help but to admire that type of strength. Um, I love the little gift that Scout got for Drew and stuff. She got him a little hot pink scarf. That was nice. Um, most dudes ain't about to wear no hot pink, but he took it in stride and he wore it for his daughter, so I ain't mad at that. I felt bad for Danny though. It was good to still see Danny smiling and having a good time and stuff like that, even though he just lost his dad. But it's good that he's keeping his head held high. You know what I mean? And I know it was awkward, because with Jason being gone, Drew's trying to step up more and be there for him, be, like a father figure in his life. They were talking about possibly going to some baseball games, for the summer and stuff like that. And of course, Rocco and Dante got there, and Rocco was like, no, he's supposed to be going to baseball games with us and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad Dante, ran interference. And he was like, well, the more the merrier. I said, exactly. BLQ need to get it together. BLQ really needs to get it together with this little wishy-washy attitude that she got towards Chase. Like, it was so funny because when he bent over, she was checking out his butt. That shit was hilarious. Like, she was just gawking, just eyeing him up and down when he bent over. I was like, BLQ, just take that man into another room and just do what y'all got to do. Like, just go in another room. hit him off with a little Saint Nicky quickie. Just go ahead and do it. Because Chase was confused as hell. Like, he did not know what her attitude towards him was about. It was like every little thing he did irritated her. And he could not read between the lines. BLQ got feelings for him. And I think she just don't know how to deal with it. And my thing is, tell that man the truth. If you like him, you got feelings, tell him the damn truth and let him know how you feeling. Just let him know. That's all she need to do. Let that man know how you feel and handle business. So anyway, moving on from that. I love the whole David scene at Alexis' house. Like, the family getting together and stuff like that. Sean was there, TJ, Molly, Christina. I loved it. I love that. Sam was looking good. They all was looking good. I am not mad at Sam, because if I was Sam, I would have been irritated at Christina and Molly too. They done got this girl so many loud ass instruments. Like, they done got her so much. I'm like, an accordion, tambourine. I'm like, no. I mean, if you're a parent, of course you're gonna, support your child's creativity and stuff like that, but I'm not a fan of them type of gifts for no kid. I'm just not. Because those types of gifts, I'm like, it's nice, but it's loud. And you know how little kids are. They play that shit all day. It would drive you crazy. It's like, oh my God. I really can't blame Sam for that, because I would have been a little irritated too. Like, why y'all get her this? That's the first thing that came out of my mouth. Why? And I think part of me feel like they did that on purpose. They got her that because they knew it was going to drive Sam crazy. Come on now. We all know kids like shaking them damn, anything that make noise, they like to mess with it. I'm like, no. And they was getting on my nerves too, because they was all up in Sam business, like kind of teasing her about the fact that at the Quartermain she gonna have Drew there and she gonna have Dante there. Sam was not fazed by it. She was like, listen, we all grown. She was like, Drew, it ain't nothing going down between her and Drew. And Dante is secure within himself to know that ain't nothing going down. I mean, what Sam and Drew had, that was over a long while ago, so I don't see them picking up where they left off. Even Drew recently acknowledged that. I don't see that. I don't see nothing going on with them. But anyway, I was so freaking happy for Sean when he made his big announcement. Sean is taking over The Invader as the new publisher. I was excited about that news. I was so freaking happy because I wasn't expecting that. And I was happy about that. Because you know what? He got a new mission for that company. Because they were mentioning how The Invader is a little sleazy, little tabloid and stuff, but Sean was like, no, I'm going to change the narrative on that. He's going to take The Invader and do something completely different. He's going to overhaul it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be more about injustices and stuff like that. He's going to do something positive with it. I like that. I really do love it. And I didn't understand why Christina was so worried about her mother when Sean made that announcement. It's like, why would Alexis feel some type of way because Sean has his, new career figured out and she doesn't? I'm like, well, it takes time to figure out what you want to do in your life. All she knew how to be was a lawyer. And she still got the PI thing with Sam, so you never know. That might pan out, it might work. Or, maybe it wouldn't and she might want to find something else to do. That's what life is about, finding what works for you. There ain't no rush on her finding a new career. Not at all. And I love how Alexis is coming to terms with the whole alcohol, alcohol being around her. Because if you notice, like, when Monica had that drink that she put out there, and she said it was non-alcoholic, she also had a bottle of vodka for everybody that likes to drink, And that's what it is. When you're a recovering alcoholic, you have to get to a stage in your life where you're comfortable being around people who are going to drink alcohol. You got to be in a place where alcohol is going to be around you. And you got to be strong enough not to partake. And that's where Monica's at in her life. She's cool with everybody drinking around her and stuff. She has no problem with it, And Alexis is starting to get to that point too. She was like, I don't mind people drinking around me and stuff. Because notice her and Sean was sitting there drinking club soda, so she had no issues, But I respect the fact that Sean and everybody else wanted to, not partake in alcohol around her. I respect it. I really respect it. I think it was dope. I love that moment between all of them. I really do. That was a good Christmas moment. Um, so anyway, moving on from that, I'm happy that Sasha and Brando are getting into a place of happiness too. Like they're coming to terms with the loss of their child. It's not going to be easy, but they're coming to terms with it. They're moving forward, and I'm happy about that. Because most people, when they lose a child, it breaks them up. It separates them, it divides them. But so far, Brando and Sasha are doing the opposite. It's bringing them closer. You know, and I'm glad that they went over to the Corinthos house and stuff, and Sonny and Carly and the family welcomed them in, and you know and Carly welcomed her into the family and stuff like that because Sasha doesn't have any family. Liam was the only blood family she had. The only real family she had. So it's good that she was accepted into somebody's family. And I'm glad that her and Brando, declared their love for each other and that they're going to move forward with each other. I think that's good. Um, I'm happy for them. But I do feel like, in the next few months, it's probably going to be a little rocky still between them because something tell me Brando might just accept Sonny's, offer at one point to join the organization, or Jason's offer, I might say, because I do remember Jason offering him a position. He might just join up, and who knows how Sasha might feel, It's just a prediction of mine. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. But for right now, I'm happy that they're moving forward. And what the hell is Michael doing? Michael sitting here on the phone, making phone calls, trying to, make sure everything is all set for Nina's trial. I'm like, Michael, do not be out here pulling those strings. Do not. Because that phone call to me sounded like he was trying to make some shit happen. I'm like, no, get off that phone. Let that woman have a fair trial. Do not be sitting here trying to garner a conviction on her before the trial even start. But it is good that the Corinthos family had a good night. They had a good Christmas because Lord knows when this trial start, it's gonna be some fuckery. It's gonna be some shit when this trial get underway. So they better be careful on that one. Cause you can tell Carly was so irritated because Rocco had brought in that gift, Nina's gift that she got for Wiley from the guards gate, from the guards gatehouse or whatever. Carly was annoyed by it, but she expected that Nina would have a gift for Wiley or whatever. But my thing is, I'm glad Carly didn't make a big deal about it because at the end of the day, at least Nina has some tact about her, and she didn't dare ring their doorbell or try to gain entry to the house and nothing like that. She just dropped it off with the guards and she quietly left. That was a smart move. Very smart. She didn't want to cause no drama. And, at the end of the day, Wiley is her grandson. She just wanted the boy to have a gift. I don't see nothing wrong with it. But Willow, honestly, she's in the middle of all this. Um, because she knows this secret about Sonny and Nina, and the fact that she's not telling Michael about it because she gonna try to use that excuse when the truth come out. She gonna try to probably tell Michael, "Oh, I didn't tell anybody because I care about the family. I didn't want, the family to be divided or mess up Sonny and Carly's relationship." She's gonna have an excuse. Maybe that is a good excuse, but still, I would have said something. I mean, once you hear something, it's not like you can unhear it. So I would have said it. Or maybe she feel like it's just not her place to say anything. But we all know Sonny ass ain't gonna say nothing. Sonny not gonna say nothing until he's forced to say something. That's the only way Sonny is gonna tell Carly the truth, until he's forced. And that day may come when the trial starts. I like the scene though with Willow and Jocelyn, and they were talking about, how Willow never had sisters, and Jocelyn has a bunch of sisters now, so she considers Willow her sister. I love those moments. In the scenes with Sonny and Dante acknowledged to Sonny that he found out Sonny made, put the extra money down for Dante and Lulu to get their house. Those were some beautiful ass scenes. Very beautiful. I love little family moments like that. Because that's what Christmas is about. It's about family. Until this trial start. Speaking of, Nina is definitely worried about this trial right now. That's all she could really think about is this trial. And, Liso, of course, was pissed off because the Corinthoses wouldn't allow her around Wiley for Christmas. And I kind of agree with Lisa on that. I mean, yeah, Nina was messed up for what she did, but don't take it out on Wiley. You know what I'm saying? Because he loves Nina. He can, he knows that's his grandmother too. she didn't have to come to the house. You know what I'm saying? Michael and Willow could have possibly took him to, Rice Plaza, somewhere neutral, and she could have had a couple minutes with him or something to wish him a Merry Christmas or FaceTimed him, something, you know, something. Don't take it out on him because clearly they have somewhat of a relationship that's established. So it's like, if you're angry at her, be angry at her, but don't take it out on him. At least let him get a couple minutes. Um, Lisa was getting ready to call Willow, and Nina was, stopping her. She even snatched the phone out her hand. That tipped Lisa off that Willow knew something. Because why would Nina be so hell bent on not contacting Willow? You know what I mean? Like the way she was acting when Willow's name was brought up, it told Lisa everything she needed to know. And I love that little cute moment between Lisa and Scott when he knocked on the door and stuff like that. That shit was hilarious. I love them as a couple. They be having that freaky wild sex. They look like they be getting it in. Like that shit would be hilarious. I need to see some love making scenes between Scott and Lisa because that shit look like it would be funny. Like Lisa looked like the type to be up in there making some animal noises. Like they look freaky. Um, but basically she told Scott that Willow may be the witness that he needs in order to help Nina get out from under these charges. And, of course, Scott was reluctant to use Willow because he was like, it's risky. Because who's to say that she's going to get on that stand and tell the truth? And if she doesn't, Nina could go to prison. But Lisa didn't care. She was like, shit, we got to take risk. Calculated risk. I mean, it is what it is. We got to do it. So BLQ and Chase came by with little baby Bailey / Louise or whatever because not Nina, but Maxie pretty much is still hell bent on Peter dying. Like she want that man's head on a platter. So that way her child could come home. And lo and behold, her child did kind of come home. She got to hold her and spend Christmas with her, which was pretty dope. So anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what you all thought about it, and I will see you all later. Have a great night. Peace.